Alright, welcome back to brand new Let's Play. Today we're starting Final Fantasy IV, the complete collection, on the PSP, and is actually my favorite way to play this game. Now, funny enough, this is actually the second time I tried to record this. I've been having issues with this headphones, had to reinstall some drivers, and of course when I fully got them to reconnect and stuff, I forgot to change the settings in OBS Studio, so I recorded the first part, went back and listened to it, and all you could hear is my commentary. You couldn't hear the game audio. But I made sure that this is actually fixed now, so... Yeah, the complete collection, what is this all about? This actually includes quite a bit of stuff. So you have Final Fantasy IV, you have the interlude, and you have the after years, gallery, music selections, so it's actually quite a bit. Now, I actually haven't paid the after years, but I do plan on getting around to it at some point. So they definitely expanded on the lore of this game. Now, I'm not fully aware of what this even is about. I don't know if it acts as like a prelude or a epilogue, but yeah, this Let's Play is going to be focusing on Final Fantasy IV, so let's go ahead and get this started. So this is when the Final Fantasy really started to take a big emphasis on the narrative. And this is like where Final Fantasy, a lot of people like to classify it as where it starts, like where it starts to get really, really good. Because the first three games, I feel like they're a bit, they don't get the attention they kind of deserve. But from here, things get very interesting. You'll see very quickly what I mean by that. I'm gonna comment on some of the dialogue, but for the most part, I'm just gonna let it flow. Killing innocent people. See, our main character is the captain of this ship. And what is this about killing innocent people? No, the mages. I don't know why I think of Vivi when I see those black mages. Killed all those innocent people to get the crystal, it seems. Alright, so... doesn't seem like they got the best intentions. Protect them. Alright, so his people definitely seem displeased and definitely questioning the actions that are being taken. But we got an encounter. And that plays out automatically, unless you're playing the DS version, of course. The 3D version. Then you're gonna have to fight those on your own. And that's actually the hardest version, but we'll get to that later. Another fight that you have no control over, and as you can notice, there's a meter next to Cecil. This is where they introduced the active time battle system, which I'll go into further detail on the next part. We've been encountering a surprising number of monsters lately. So yeah, as you can see, things started off and they don't really waste any time. His people definitely seem displeased, but he seems kind of hell-bent on keeping the morale up and pleasing the king. You know, he's showing a bit of pity. So there's some remorse in our captain here, Cecil. So it's not looking good for Cecil. But Cecil has some remorse, so he's going to turn right back around. Seems he has questions asked as well. It wasn't just his men. Just like that, just for asking questions. This king is pretty insane. So yeah, stripped of his title. That sucks. But fortunate for us, we have Kane joining with us. And Kane is actually one of the few Dragoons that I ever end up using. I also like Freya from Final Fantasy IX. And put him in the top. Now, you can't actually change a specific character to put him in the front and back row. This game has a certain formation, either 3 people in the front row, or 3 people in the back row, and 2 people in the front row, 2 people in the back row. But we'll get to that later. It actually works out very nice. We're gonna keep him in the front row. And there's some settings I want to change because he's like walking very slow. Now the ATB, that meter that you saw earlier, once it fills up, that's when you can take your turn. Active means that everything is just constantly flowing, so if you sit there, the enemies will hit you. But I actually like playing these games in wait. The Final Fantasy 3 and 10 work, they had the conditional turn-based system, which I much prefer to the ATB. The ATB is cool, it's just let's see, I want the battle speed all the way up. Yeah, it's really up to you what you want to do. Active makes it feel sort of like a hybrid, like you're almost playing like an action game, because you really have to be like on your toes and stuff, as opposed to wait where you get to take time, strategically choose things. Let's see, dash on. Yeah, 3 and 10 I really like. In fact, 10 has my favorite battle system, so I like to emulate that whenever I can. Let's see, this is what I want. Definitely turn that on. That's a must. Let's see, I don't want to crawl everywhere. Cursor, keep. And you can change the music to original, but we're going to keep it on arrangement. ATB gauge on. Wait, actually you could set how the ATB gauge is displayed. Well, no, even though I'm playing this on wait, I still want to see it so I can see who's gonna go first. But let's see, battle order. I'm gonna keep that default. You can change the window designs and change the color, but I'm gonna stick to the blue that's going on right here. Now, if you talk to Cain, you actually get some dialogue and just explains a bit of lore, explaining his background and stuff. So, Cain is actually a really cool Dragoon. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, unless it's Cain or Freya, I do not use the Dragoons all that much. 480 gil, an ether, and a tent. Nice. Now, we didn't have anything in our inventory, so the ether and tent came nice. Well, we got that Carnelian signet, but that's for a story. Funny enough, that was called the Bomb Ring, I believe, in the original SNES translation. And yeah, Rose is one of the best white mages in the entire series. In fact, you can make the argument that she is the best white mage in the series. So yeah, Cid is Rosa's father, and that's this game's iteration of Cid. Told you they're pretty much in every game. And he's pretty cool. And now I'm not a fan of him in battle, but kind of sucks in battle, but as a character he's really cool. And the song that's gonna play here in a sec is one of the best songs in the game. Very influential. That's usually what tends to happen to those kings when they're start acting out of order. So yeah, definitely going on between the two of them. They already seem like they're a couple. No, that song I was playing, The Theme of Love, is amazing. In fact, I think that song was so influential that it was actually taught in music schools in Japan. This is like a certain version of the prelude that you hear throughout a lot of the Final Fantasy versions. It's kind of like a different rendition. In fact, I really like this 7 and 10's version of the prelude. Well, the 1 in 10 sounds very different, but I like that one. Funny enough that they brought the crystals back for this game. In fact, the crystals are in quite a few Final Fantasies. See, 1, 3, 4, 5, 9. But yeah, look at that, Kane's in our party now. And this is what I mean. You can't go in and change the certain characters, like front and back row, but you can do this. Now if you want someone in the back row, let me see. It's kind of confusing to explain, but for example, like the first, third, and fifth slot, those are all the same, and then the second and fourth slot, they're the same. So if I put it like this, it'll be easier to explain. The second and fourth slot, they're in the same, they're both in the back row, both in the front row. If you want somebody in the front and back row, you want to put them next to each other. As you can see, well, let's fix that. It's also in the front row, Kane in the back row. Kane is going to be jumping, so. It may seem weird, but it actually works out really well because of how your characters are built. See, a potion. Let's go in here. A tent. Eye drops. Namish bread. Yeah, Namish bread works like a sight spell. You can actually see the map. See an item shop. I'll come back to that a bit later. See a potion. See Rosa's house. Yeah, Rosa's not here. And there's some stuff to pick up here. A lot of hidden paths and a lot of hidden items in this game. Kind of like Final Fantasy IX. A lot of stuff that you can definitely miss. So Phoenix down, 2 Phoenix downs, nice. And a gold needle. Now if you ask me, this has the best difficulty curve out of all the Final Fantasy versions of 4. Between the Game Boy Advance, the DS version, the original SNES version. See a tent. Awesome, we always take those. And a Bronze's Hourglass. That causes the game to stop, I think. Now, if you're playing this on Wait, what would be the point of this? I think that's solely if you're playing this on Active. Let's see. I think that's pretty much wraps up most of the stuff you'd want to pick up, or you can actually pick up now. Devil's Road, we won't worry about that for now. That's later on. Oh, we only have 2 potions. And I don't like how as soon as you press up, it goes up by 10. I'm used to doing left and right for that, so I'm gonna have to be careful I don't end up over buying stuff. I like to have a few of these on stock. That should be good enough for now. I think I picked up. Alright, so unlike Final Fantasy 3, 7, 9, and 10, I don't know this game like the back of my hand. I can get through it fine, it's just there's gonna be certain things I probably will end up missing. Don't know what that was about. I'm gonna have to fix that off screen, but yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this part of the Let's Play. On the next part, we're gonna go explore the Mist Cave, and we'll be getting into some battles, so we'll actually get to see the gameplay. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next part. See ya.